but we also understand that there can be challenges that come with the military lifestyle. Oftentimes military families are moving from base to base over the course of a career. You get those PCS orders, 2.5 years into a tour, and you end up, you could be on the other side of the United States, and that in and of itself is a challenge. But when you're talking about having school children that are making that change, that can be very, very challenging. And a child whose parents are in active duty service will move to a new school 6 to 9 times from the time they enter kindergarten until they graduate from high school if their parents are serving throughout that whole period of time. So that's not easy to do. That's something that does present challenges for us. But we wanted to make sure in Florida we're doing all that we can to head off those challenges and to make sure that our school system was very sensitive to some of the challenges posed when you have active duty military that are constantly moving around. So last year we worked with the legislature and I signed legislation to establish what we call the Purple Star Campus Program. And the Florida Department of Education under this program recognizes schools that go above and beyond to help children of military families to succeed. So the individual schools that apply for this designation must do the following. 1, designate a faculty member as the military point of contact. Number 2, establish a student-led transition program where military students are connected with non-military peers that can help them engage in school activities. You need to also reserve at least 5% of open enrollment seats for military students, and you need to provide teachers with more professional development specialized for military students. And Okaloosa County has the highest percentage of military student enrollment out of any school district in the state of Florida. Over 5,600 children of military service members are enrolled in Okaloosa schools. And so I'm happy to announce today that 35 schools in Okaloosa County will now be designated as Purple Star schools. We're also designating another 79 schools across the state of Florida for a total of 114 Purple Star schools in 10 school districts throughout Florida. So in addition to Okaloosa, we will have schools earmarked in Brevard County, Citrus, Clay, Duval, Escambia, Hillsborough, Monroe, Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, and Walton counties. And so this is a big deal for the state, and I think it's going to be something that's going to be very beneficial for our military families and for their kids. Earlier this year, I also signed legislation allowing veterans with 4 years of military experience and an associate's degree to obtain a 5-year temporary teaching certificate now, rather than have to wait until they earn the bachelor's degree. Of course, they're progressing towards that bachelor's degree, but we recognize that active duty service as being something that is very meaningful and can have a very positive benefit with students in the classroom. And so since that time, we've had 495 veterans apply for this program. And, there were some people criticizing us because we're welcoming veterans, to be teachers, which is just ridiculous. And they said that somehow, you being serving, in like Afghanistan or something, that's just equivalent of bringing any warm body, I think one of these people said, and that's just totally wrong. This is valuable experience, but guess what? You apply, you still got to make the cut. They got to think that you're good to do it. So we've gotten a lot of applications, and people, I think, have been very impressed with the quality of individuals who are coming. In August, we announced we're going to have additional legislative proposals in 2023 to help get additional retired first responders and veterans into our classroom, including providing bonuses. So we look forward to being able to do that. But to further support those efforts today, I'm directing Commissioner Diaz and Florida DOE to create a first-of-its-kind Purple Star School Teacher Leadership Program. And through the program, the department will work with the Purple Star schools in Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, Escambia, and Walton counties to set up their own teacher certification and professional development programs. Each school will recruit veterans to take part in the program as they work toward their teaching certificate, which each one given a mentor teacher. They will also recruit veterans to help provide the professional development with a focus on the needs of military families. Not only will this program employ veterans, it will also allow districts and schools to conduct their own educator professional development and to certify their own teachers. And so I think what we were able to do is, really move the ball forward across a wide variety of fronts. I'm proud that Okaloosa County is leading the way with this new program, and we look forward to being able to continue to serve the families of active duty military personnel. You notice people that serve a whole career, Air Force, Navy in particular, they go all across the country. But when they're stationed in Florida, they usually don't give up that Florida residency. They usually keep it. They usually keep that driver's license. They keep the voting. They keep, if they have property, a lot of times they will keep the homestead and all that, and that's great. And we're fortunate. And then when they end up leaving active duty, a huge percentage of them will end up coming back and moving back to Florida, particularly here in Northwest Florida. So we want to welcome that, and we want to continue to make these communities really, really strong. So I'm excited about today. Thank you for our Northwest Florida communities for really leading the way on this. And I think that this is going to be a great, great success. Okay, Manny Diaz.
Thank you, Governor DeSantis, for not only making Florida the education state, but also the most military-friendly state in the United States. And what a great place to celebrate this here in Okaloosa County with Superintendent Marcus Chambers, who, as you heard the governor say, has the highest percentage of students tied to the military. And this designation, this Purple Star School designation, is important, not just because of the designation, because of the flexibility that these schools are providing military families who go through this change, this travel, especially for the students. And by having this designation, it sends the message, a clear message to the Department of Defense that our bases here in Florida are supported completely by the education system here in Florida to make sure our students and our military families are taken care of, and that our members of the military can serve without worrying about where their students are going to school, and making sure they have the flexibility. So thank you, Superintendent Chambers, for the flexibility you provided. And again, thank you, Governor DeSantis, for your leadership on this. Purple Star Teacher Leader Program is going to really dovetail with the military pathway certification and really bring more veterans into our schools, providing them professional development at the local level where it's best, so they can serve the population in that community, whether it's a military community like here in the Panhandle or all over our state. So that is a great item that we look forward to putting into place, Governor. Thank you for leading on that. And it's always great to have a governor who continues to fight for those that fight for us. So thank you, Governor.
Okay. Marcus.
And I just want to say first, on behalf of Okaloosa County, we want to congratulate you again on an overwhelming victory. And I will say, I love the words that the governor used when he said, Okaloosa leads the way. And I say that not just simply for a badge of honor, but because when you look over here to my right and those behind us, these are students right here in Okaloosa County. Of the 5,700 students in our county, many of them are active duty dependents. And when their families go away, whether it's TDY or whether they're deployed, it's the schools and it's the teachers, it's the staff, it's the administrators who make a difference in their lives and being there for them and to support them. Or when they move in to a new area. I remember being a student who would come to a new school, and I said to myself, where am I going to sit during lunch? But our schools are putting programs in place to make students comfortable and make that transition coming in very important. Our school board members are here today. We have teachers and staff that are here today, and this is important for our county. When you look at Eglin, Hobart, you look at the 7 Special Forces, Duke, so many military folks are a part of this. Not only the 5,700 students, but it's also about those who are in this community, and we know the impact that the military brings to this community and what this school district is about as well. So we have Principal Spolsky here. We have some of our other high school principals back there. I see Crestview, I see Niceville as well. And it's representative. 35 schools, 92% of our schools are Purple Star schools. And that's something, Governor, I could not be more proud of. So thank you.
Okay.
Good to see everyone out there. I just want to say thank you for an outstanding show, Governor. Appreciate you being here. But look at the leadership that's here with us today, really. When you look all across the board, locally, at the state level, and of course our superintendent and our board, there's a common theme in the military, and that is what? service before self. And I want to thank all of our students that are non-military for embracing all of our military students that come in. You guys know we're a family here. Thank you. We take care of each other, and it's a common theme through Okaloosa County School District as well. And I want to say thank you, Superintendent, for pushing us to these different directions that is going to take care of everyone so that we can make this state better, and just be thankful for what we have. Thank you.
All right.
Good morning. My name is Jesus Barrio. I'm a 27-year veteran from the Army. I've deployed twice in my career, one to OIF and OEF. And so it's Iraq and Afghanistan. I did that 2 years, so it's basically 3 years away from the family when you deploy twice. A lot of people are in the same position, and I am even more. I met people who had even more deployments, but I was lucky. My daughter, she goes to school here. We first came from New Jersey, from Fort Dix, which they changed to JBMDL. It'll always be Fort Dix to me. So from there, we went to Minot. Why not Minot? No beaches. That's why. Okay. So and it was very cold in Minot. So it was, you stayed home a lot. So the schools were good, but they weren't as good as what you have here. So when we came to Florida, she was, again, every time we left, it was the kids got sad. They had to leave their kids, all their friends behind and everything, and that actually hurt us. But we had to move because we got orders, so we got to go. This time it wasn't me. This time it was my wife, because she's a captain in the U.S. Air Force. She's active duty. So we came here, and they said Herbert Field, and I was like, what is that? I don't even know what that. Florida, I never heard of that. And then I looked at the pictures online, I go, we're going there. I was like, from Minot, white sand beaches, 86 degrees water, I go, we're going there. I go, and I'm never leaving there. I go, I've always had a thing for Florida. My whole career, I wanted to end up in Florida. I'm ready, I'm planted here. This is great. Florida is great. But when we got here to this school, she was sad. She didn't have any friends. The guidance counselor, Miss Davis, I think it is Miss Davis, she's the guidance counselor for the military, which never happened in Minot. She came over, and then she actually introduced my daughter to other friends, which were from Minot. And then she actually started, getting better and started adding friends and stuff, because for a minute there, it was like, oh my God, I don't even want to go to school. I don't like this. I have no friends, and the whole shebang. But because of that, because of the support that you had at this school in Fort Walton Beach, she was able to make friends, and now she's thriving. She actually went to her first football game here, and it was like awesome. She had a great time. I've been telling her, but her friends told her, and she went. So you know how that works, because you're a parent. I could say it till I'm blue in the face, but once they say it, hey, great idea. I was like, oh. Same thing with the wife, so don't even laugh about that, all right? There you got you, all right? So that's all I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But the other thing is I have a son. He's in the Navy right now. He actually went to Minot, and he started his high school in New Jersey, and he finished off in Minot during COVID. So during COVID, he graduated along with all the other students. That's what his life was about. When he got here, he left, and then he joined the Navy. So I was like real proud of him. He's in the Navy now, and he's still going through training. So I'm like, we did a good job. I go, now he's in the Navy. He's got all the conservative values that his family has, and this state fits, because of all the stuff going on in the world right now and in the United States. So I'm so glad that it is DeSantis. I voted for him. It was great. It was great. I'm telling you, I saw that speech, smoking a cigar on the front. He was doing that speech after victory speech, and I was like, yes! And I was screaming. I was outside like, yes! My wife's like, what's going on? I go, he's DeSantis is speaking. I go, leave me alone. So that was me, an old veteran, old Army veteran, but, we're very emotional, and we get really loud, and, posters and really like that. So that's besides the point, but the main point is that this school has helped a lot with my daughter, and it has helped her tremendously. I mean, in no other places that we've been to has been like this. The amount of gratitude that I have to give this school is like, thank you very much for what you've done, especially Miss Davis and the counselor and the principal calling all the time with anything that happens, which has never happened before. So the information and the support system is definitely here, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we're happy. We're excited about what we're going to be able to do with this new program and with more teacher recruitment. And we've got a lot of other good stuff coming up in the ensuing months, particularly as we get into the big legislative session in March. And so I thank everybody for all their hard work here. And we've got a lot more to do. So thank you. Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Governor DeSantis, we'd like to know what you think about Trump's big announcement.
Well, you know, one of the things I've learned in this job is when you're leading, when you're getting things done, yeah, you take incoming fire. That's just the nature of it. I roll out of bed in the morning. I've got corporate media outlets that have a spasm, just the fact that I'm getting up in the morning, and it's constantly attacking. And this is just what's happened. I don't think any governor got attacked more, particularly by corporate media, than me over my 4-year term. And yet, I think what you learn is all that's just noise. And really what matters is, are you leading? Are you getting in front of issues? Are you delivering results for people? And are you standing up for folks? And if you do that, then none of that stuff matters. And that's what we've done. We focused on results and leadership. And, you know, at the end of the day, I would just tell people to go check out the scoreboard from last Tuesday night. The fact of the matter is, you know, the fact of the matter is, it was the greatest Republican victory in the history of the state of Florida. And it wasn't just the best governor victory. Of course, it was that. But we swept in super majorities in the Florida legislature. We have 85 Republicans out of 120 in our state house. We've never had that many before. We have 28 senators out of 40 that are Republicans. Never had that many. And honestly, they could have had 29 if they would have done the Osceola one. You know, we won Osceola County at the top of the ticket, and I think we probably could have done that. So you see that. You see the school boards. We're electing all these great people to school boards. We had 16 Republican members of the U.S. House from Florida. Now we have 20 going up there. So that's four seats right there. So at the end of the day, I think people respond to the leadership. They respond to the results. And so that's why, even though I know anytime I do anything, you're over the target, you know, you're going to face incoming. That's just the nature of it. But that's not ultimately what matters to people. What matters to people is, are you standing up for them? Are you leading? And are you getting things done? And we are.
Cooler weather that's going to be settling in for the rest of the week. Taking a live look over our Gulfarium camera, still dealing with some clouds out there. We do have a few very light showers left, but all of the heavy stuff that we saw this morning is gone. Some of us even seeing some clear skies behind that. It depends on where you are. Here's a look at your winds. You can see the change coming. We have winds from the south ahead of our cold front, and that is where we're seeing some pretty windy weather, anywhere from 10 to about 18 miles an hour. Look at that change in direction there behind the cold front coming in from the north. This is going to pull in some cooler weather. So where we're dealing with a little more of that moisture is where there's some isolated pockets of rain left over. Those are going to be moving out very quickly, though. Most of us dry, and look at that big temperature drop. 55 degrees in Mobile right now. Compare that to Pensacola at 78 degrees. So enjoy those 70s if you like the warmer weather, because you will not be seeing that for a while. We are going to be seeing a nice cool stretch of weather to end the week and go into the weekend. So as you go throughout your afternoon, you're going to be seeing temperatures dropping. A chance of a stray shower, but most of us done with the rain now. You can see temperatures dropping throughout the evening.
Well, tonight we could learn the fate of Warrington Middle School. Escambia County School Board members expected to vote on a contract with Charter School USA. Now, Warrington has received either D or failing grades for years now, and is now required to become a charter or face closure. And Charter Schools USA is working out a deal with the district to assume that charter role. Now, the school district has until January to sign a contract with a charter. The Florida Power and Light Company will join the Salvation Army of Pensacola to celebrate an upgrade to the organization's energy efficiency. The process is called a nonprofit energy makeover. FP&L will reach out to an organization that they feel could benefit from an upgrade to their energy efficiency. Salvation Army, they say they will use that money saved from the upgrade and put it back into the community. 4 students are dead at the University of Ohio in Moscow, Idaho, in what the mayor is calling a senseless act of
You are watching the Florida Channel, connecting Florida.